How you doing? Oh, I can't hear you. Make sure this my system is up.
Sorry, that was me. I was still muted. I was just saying hello.
How you doing, beautiful? How are you?
I'm doing okay. How are you guys?
We are
Good.
great. We are great.
Just gonna give it some time for everybody else to try to come in.
Yeah, before we get to running our big mouths.
Hello.
How you doing? Hey.
Hey.
Hey, for some reason it wouldn't allow me to log on through my computer. I
Yeah.
had to do it on my phone.
You know what? To be completely honest with you, even with the text messages and stuff, this is our first time utilizing some of this stuff, and it does get out of whack. And so
Hmm.
we'll take that into account. uh,
Okay.
for the next time to make sure everybody can log in their preferred way. I wonder how many other people are experiencing that.
Portia, her and I were on earlier. She wasn't able to log in through her computer either, so she was on her phone as well.
Man, okay.
But I am trying to launch it from my email,
And it's not,
but it's still not allowing me to get in.
a
No.
part of me wonders if any of it has to do with the fact that there's so many of us on at the same time. So we'll definitely figure that out for next time. But that's our
Okay, cool.
for anything, especially in regards to the texting. If there's anything that's not going the way that it should, we'll get it right, definitely, so that it won't be interrupting anything later.
Okay, cool. That's fine.
What time is it? We're gonna start right at 5.
Okay.
So anybody that's not on here is just not on here. I
And
wanna
y'all know what? When y'all said five, I'm thinking about myself. They know I'm in Virginia, so I don't know why they saying 5 o'clock.
well, we say it our time because it
I
keeps
know.
people. It was one time I told somebody, don't laugh. I didn't know about mountain standard time.
Uh,
So there was one time to where I told this woman to call, and we ended up calling at two completely different times because my little self didn't know about the time gap.
oh,
But
let's
yes,
see.
I am so glad that y'all are here. I'm so
Oh,
glad.
more people. Hey.
Yes, hopefully more come in because we definitely want to give you guys some good information. Some of you we've already spoken to, but some I'm hoping that especially those that we haven't had the chance to consult with, that they hop on here so we can give you guys as much information as you need to not only successfully complete this challenge, even though this challenge is not super difficult, as well as to continue on with keeping this challenge up. And to introduce you guys into some new, we have a class coming up in regards to herbalism with this new strain of COVID. Just in case y'all have not heard about it, they're saying it's about 70% more contagious and more infectious. And I actually spoke to one of my family members who actually saw a little boy die from it. He died within 24 hours of actually contracting it. They said that he seized. He started throwing up foam, and his eyes kind of not started bleeding, but his eyes were turning red. And they literally tested it out the next day because they didn't know what caused him to pass, and it was the new strain of COVID. And the scary part for that, for a lot of people, was that that baby was plant-based. So that's definitely something that we're going to tackle here because I genuinely feel it in my spirit. We need to, not just be selling products with herbs just to say we're herbalists, but to actually teach everyone how to take care of themselves in an alternative way, so that in situations like that, anything that that could help you and your family, you'll have in your arsenal. What, we got one more minute? I'll try to be patient. Get it set up all nice and proper.
Is it charging? No, it's not charging.
Oh, I thought it was. I thought it was charging this whole time.
Mm-mm.
Okay, well, let me get to it. Where are we at? 5 o'clock. Let's do this.
You silly.
How do get my laptop in there? Boom.
Hey,
Bang.
Portia.
All right. All right. Okay. Well, I'm always excited to talk to y'all. I'm always excited to spread some information to anyone who's willing to listen. And as I always say, as we always say, don't believe nothing we say. Look this up for yourself. I hope you guys have some pen and paper with you. In addition to just talking about this challenge, we're going to break into some more information about herbs, what we're doing in regards to this actual transformation, what you're going to be doing to your body on this challenge, so that you understand everything that you're doing and can even do it again, without our help and things like that the next time. We ready? Let's do this.
How many of you already had like prepared, soaked, or maybe have some sea moss gel made? Like, does anybody in here have any questions in regards to how to prepare? Because we are going to send the video of, showing the whole process, cleaning it, soaking it and stuff like that. But just wanted to get that out the way to make sure nobody that's in here now
is struggling with that. Everybody good?
This is Stacy. I'm currently soaking my sea moss, but I don't know what goes on after my 24 hours. It just went in today.
Awesome. Okay. And so that was totally a part of the plan. We, in regards to the delays with USPS, we decided to give this day as a day for preparation, to give people a chance that have not got their package to possibly get their package, as well as to, it's a chat.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know. Had it in my smoothie. I even tried to buy it. So go ahead, Latidra. Okay. I'm so new to some of these platforms. I'll be amazed with it too. So excuse my little childishness. But yes. And so today is solely for preparation. And that's why we're on here talking to you all, to really just get you all invested into this challenge, because we think it'll definitely be beneficial for you. We show you all how to take care of your sea moss, how to wash, how to prepare it, as well as how to utilize it in your smoothies and videos as well. We did a cool test run today, sending you guys a Happy New Year's video, and we're so glad that the whole video went through and everything was okay there, so that we know and we confirm that, we'll be able to get you these small videos on a day-to-day basis, so that you're not in this challenge by yourself. We're going to be making these smoothies and things like that with you, motivating you along the way. The point and the purpose, has anybody had a chance to actually read through their packet? No, I see someone mouthing what packet.
I think that was Laura said what packet.
It's okay.
You should have got it
in the PDF. I did.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I did get the PDF. I think I kind of just skimmed through. So I'll go back and make sure I read the whole thing.
Okay, yeah, no worries. You know what, to be honest with you, it took us some time, because we were going so just back and forth so much, trying to figure out how much information is too much. And then I'm a big nerd, so what is digestible to to everyone reading it and what is not. But we decided to go ahead and put everything that we felt as if, hey.
They don't know that who you're talking to when you say hey, because we can see everybody individually, but they don't know who we're looking at. So you gotta say names.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Hey,
Okay. I'll get to it. I'll get used to it.
And Kim, don't worry that you haven't received yours. Like, that's what the videos are for. So if anybody hasn't received their package yet, then these videos will be there for you to go back to. And if you're talking about you haven't received the PDF, then let us know. Like, drop that in the chat so I can just go ahead and send the PDF out to anybody who hasn't received it.
Yeah, because sometimes Mad Mimi, and which is what we use in order to send out those blast emails, trips up. So if anyone doesn't have that packet is super important to us. So please let us know. We really put some research and some good work into it to be able to help y'all. So please let us know, and just make sure you have that. I haven't received. That's Kimberly. Okay, we got you, Kimberly.
Okay.
Okay, so let's break down this challenge. What is this challenge doing? Okay, this is a simple 7-day sea moss challenge. You're going to be implementing sea moss into your smoothies and consuming that every day. There's also some sea moss in the general wellness tea that we provided you guys a sample of. And the whole point of this is really just to enhance our vitality. Sea moss is really, really good. Like it has a lot of different nutrients within it. We broke down some of those nutritional contents. What should we include into our smoothies? I got you. We broke down the nutritional content of sea moss, so you know exactly what you're consuming. Everything from your different vitamins, the folic acids, phosphorus, and different kinds of minerals are within sea moss. And it's super important for you guys to implement that into your diets because right now, especially with COVID, COVID is attacking everyone that has a compromised immune system. And there are a lot of people operating off of deficiencies. And I think we really need to grow an understanding of why these vitamins and these minerals play such a vital role in our health. And I broke this down to some of you, but everything from the magnesium to the iron especially, you know, vitamin C, A, E, K, these things are all things that our body uses to regulate something within our body. Your brain uses magnesium in order to regulate what kind of neurochemicals that it releases into the body. In regards to the thyroid, iodine, how much iodine you take in, how much salt you're consuming on a day-to-day basis would determine how well that gland functions. And especially considering that I see all women here, we all need to know and understand the importance of taking care of our endocrine system, our endocrine glands. These are the glands that regulate our hormones. And if any of you are suffering or are struggling with certain ailments, especially when it comes to thyroidism, hormonal imbalances and things of that nature, that is solely coming from your diet and a lack of what should be in there. But vitamin sea moss is almost like our vitamin. We take it on a day-to-day basis, and we've actually experimented with it a lot and documenting some of those experiments so people can actually start seeing these benefits that we're talking about. Everything from weight loss, and which is something that many mention. I'm about to say them chats. I gotta look this way.
Yeah, I focus on this, and you just do you.
Cool.
Yeah, I got this.
Okay.
Tag me.
Everything in regards to losing weight, adding in those vitamins, minerals, and things like that we need, as well as an expirant. The thing with COVID, as we all know, is that it causes those hot and dry lung conditions within our body. And those the difficulty when it comes to breathing is associated with the mucus that may be hardened within the airways, as well as the inflammation, when certain organs or in mucosa and things like that become infected and inflamed. And so consuming sea moss could definitely be beneficial for us, especially in these times when we're dealing with COVID, because it acts as an expirant for the mucus that may be difficult for our bodies to expel on their own. Within that packet, we gave you guys some herbal remedies on top of some different ways that you can utilize sea moss, especially in an herbal remedy to help you during these times. And I really hope that you all if you haven't already, that's okay, but take some time to go through that packet, read through those herbal remedies, and just try something. If any of you need any help with finding herbs or anything of that nature, let me know. I get mine from a multitude of places. It's important for you to not necessarily, of course, always work with companies that you trust, but know the stuff yourself. There was one company that I worked with, and they sent me something completely different other than what I asked for. And had I not known what this root should look like, how it should smell, and how it should taste, I would have never caught it. So, just during this time when you're utilizing these things, just be mindful of the fact that you need to educate yourself, but most definitely know some of these things that you should have in your home.
Laura, the smoothies, the actual smoothie recipes are in that PDF. So
yes.
And get all that there.
They're super simple, but they're super effective. One of the leading causes to disease, viral infections, and things like that is constipation. Whether people realize that or not, it's constipation. You would be surprised at how many people do not poop as much as they should, and how many people thinking pooping a little bit or maybe one time a day is actually okay. The constipation within our body is what actually has the ability to degrade the quality of our blood, to cause infection and things like that from within anyway. And so we really have to focus on not just a constipation in regards to mucus, waste, but constipation and congesting or congest.
You got it.
Thank you. That with mucus within our body, because when we get too much mucus within our body, and it actually slows our body's ability to expel mucus and waste in the way that it's supposed to, we are then delaying our healing process. With these simple ingredients, you are going to poop, and it should be off the first smoothie. And the reason that I know this personally is because I go frequently every time I drink it. A simple, I don't know if it's the walnut milk that makes me regular or if it's just the actual fibers within the fruit, because that's exactly what fibers are supposed to do, help you move stool and things like that quicker. But you should definitely start having bowel movements after you consume these smoothies. The ingredients within these smoothies are so simple that you can do it whenever you want to, but hopefully it really equips you with the knowledge and the power that you have, because it is so simple. People think of natural healing as something that's complicated. Oh, I need a doctor's degree to do it. And it's like, no, your medicine is your food. So all we're doing here is teaching you how to utilize your food as your medicine. The first smoothie is a basic strawberry banana smoothie. We use our walnut milk in order to create it, hemp seeds. I'm the queen of just coming up with stuff. And so for myself personally, I throw things in there, I play with it. But within that first smoothie right there, you should be going to the restroom. The whole point of these smoothies is to help with losing weight, but especially by getting some of that fecal matter out the body, to energize the body, especially with the minerals. We gave you guys our milk recipe. And this is a recipe, one of the milk recipes that we utilize for a lot of different stuff. And if you guys don't know the benefits of walnuts, the benefits of Brazil nuts, the benefits of hemp seeds, I dare you to look it up and be amazed, because there's so much stuff in there that our body could utilize. The nutritional content of them is so high, whether it be protein, if you're a protein person, if you're a crude protein, fiber person, vitamins and minerals, they're all within that. So creating your own milk from scratch and utilizing that in your home instead of get from the store is something that we're just avid about. The more and more that you learn to create from home, the more and more that you understand what you're putting into your body, and the more for certain that you can be about where your health condition actually is. But we use that, we use all of those ingredients in the first one. So there's the weight loss and the energizing aspect of it, but there's also some things in there that would help with bacteria. For those of you that don't know the benefits of papaya, the fruit, the same fruit that you probably walk by in Walmart and Kroger and HEB and all of that fruit, papaya. I want to let y'all know there's an actual study that I studied from. It was a clinical trial that was done in Africa on a group of babies that were riddled with worms because their water supply and things of that nature were not clean enough. And they used papaya seeds as well as honey and a little bit of water, and gave that to the babies for about 3 to 4 days straight, and then tested them again, and all of their worms were gone. How? And why isn't anyone telling us that papaya seeds from this simple fruit that's $2 at the store had the potential for actual legit scientists to go overseas and utilize on these babies, and it helped those babies in their time of need? Papaya seeds have an agent within them called papain, Papain. And that is what actually has the ability to help with ridding the body of worms and killing intestinal worms. We utilize papaya, frozen papaya, as well as the papaya seeds. So when people would tell you to throw the seeds away, we say, no, put them in a cup and you put that in the fridge. And whenever you're about to make a smoothie, you grab a spoonful and you put that in there and just watch some of the things that start happening with your health. Just understand that when you start putting things in your body that helps you rid your body of toxins, you are going to feel the difference. Simple. We wanted to add to this challenge the mental transformative aspect of it, because it's crazy, and I wish, like, the women that I've spoken to are so beautiful. When I say beautiful, I mean inside and out. The way that I feel talking to everyone is just, they're beautiful. I wish that more people would have encouraged and supported everyone like they deserve to be encouraged and supported, so that they can make better decisions for themselves. but a lot of us struggle from a lack of consistency. Even when we know better, we're not doing better. And it's scary because in this time we are dealing with something like with COVID. When you heard that COVID was really targeting people who had a compromised immune system, that should have been a key indicator right there. I need to get something together. But that still wasn't enough for some. And we can't walk around judging people or bashing people and shaming people for some of their experiences, because we have to be mindful of the fact that some of the things that y'all got through, it probably could have broke me. So who am I to speak to you in any kind of way, or to think of you in lesser than or any kind of way? So, there's the mentality is really just geared towards empowering and educating as much as we can. I sincerely feel that once you know better, like the way that we break down food, hopefully after you spoke to us, you understand why it's important that you stop what you're doing today, not tomorrow, not when you feel stronger about it, not when you come up with a good chicken alternative recipe, but today, because you are either feeding and or killing disease, period. Your food is your medicine, period. I've literally reversed ailments, colds, and things of that nature with herbs that I found in a produce section at the store. And this was before I knew anything about anything. So if a 22, 23-year-old something uneducated Black chick from the hood could come in with a pot of thyme, rosemary, and parsley, and I can get rid of a cold that doctors, medications, and stuff like that, influenza shots and vaccines could not. It's not to brag or anything, but just to show you just how much you can be doing with yourself. To tackle the lack of consistency and discipline within people, I wanted to remind everyone of who you were, not what you've done or how the world perceives you, but you and how you perceive you. Oftentimes we have self-sabotaging behavior, self-destructive behavior because of how much we value ourselves. And so we just wanted to not only tell you that you're valuable, that your life is valuable, that we care, and that you should care, but also to give you guys the information and some of the tools that we've utilized to transform our minds to make our dedication and our commitment to this kind of lifestyle easier. And that started off with figuring out who you want to be. And so I kind of want to open up this dialogue a little bit. I don't want this to be a whole 30-minute conversation of me running my mouth. I want you guys to ask questions if you have any. I want us to talk about our experiences. And I get that some of us haven't had the chance to actually look at the packet. So I'm going to ask some questions ourselves so we can kind of make this effective and quick, because I can talk about this for hours. I can go. So is there anyone that has any questions about anything before I start asking my questions?
Hi, this is Sharita. I do have one question. I just want to know, with the sea moss, when you're soaking it, because I got my package yesterday, and I'm started soaking it today, but there was like little black strings. I soaked it and cleaned that all out of there and rinsed it really well. When I have it soaked in the spring water, should I cover that with saran wrap or just keep it open? Because should I cover it? The glass?
So if you cover your sea moss while it's soaking, just make sure that the fabric is porous. The beautiful thing about eating vegan and eating sea moss is that you're eating living things. And that's what we want to do, right? We're electric live beings. So you want to eat electric live things. Sea moss is a living thing. It needs oxygen to breathe. So whenever you're soaking it in the sea moss, it's okay to cover it like with a cheesecloth if you have it, or even poke holes in your saran wrap, because you want to protect it from debris, but you also want to give it a chance to breathe. So even if you use foil, poke some holes in the foil and cover it up and it'll be fine. Anybody else? Hey.
You saying?
Oh, I see the baby. Hi.
He's a mess. He's my grandson. He's a Zoom goer now. He just thinks we're here for him. So.
Anybody else have any questions? No?
I have a question about the tea.
Okay.
The 4 cups, that is not for the entire 7 days of the challenge. It's just to sample, correct?
Yes, but
okay.
In all honesty, it can stretch. You could stretch it for the entirety of the challenge. Whenever I make my teas, and this is just me being completely honest and raw with you all, I don't like basic infusions, because when you're consuming a basic infusion, which means you got 1 tablespoon of a herb and then you put that in some water, you are not getting the medicinal value that you should be getting. So all of my tea bags are going to be a bit bulky, and they're going to have a
Mhm.
lot within them, because I'm trying to utilize them not just for the taste, or not just to say, hey, I made a tea, but to really help someone in regards to the nutritional content that they're consuming. And so that same tea bag you can actually utilize twice if you would like to. After the first time that you make it, take it, put it in a little plastic bag, little Ziploc
I,
bag.
I did that.
Awesome.
Okay,
Place it in
good
the-
deal.
yeah. Place
And
it in the
I
fridge.
would like you all to know I didn't even have to flavor it. It was good just as is.
Come on.
Hey.
Come on. I've been working on these flavors. It is so hard. Like, y'all don't understand. Like, these herbs be pungent. I mean, as many nasty teas as she didn't tried, like, she can tell you. Like, and so playing with these recipes and these remedies enough to where not only are they medicinally, what I want them to be, to where the taste is bearable, because not everyone can consume it and not care about the taste because they know what they're consuming. I can't even do that sometimes. That cascara gets me every time. It's hard. It's hard. But I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you so much. Anybody else have questions? Nope. Going once, twice, thrice. Cool. All right.
You silly.
Oh, did I go too fast? Somebody? Nope. Okay. So I want to talk to y'all about who you want to be, where you want to go, what you're trying to do. And I want to talk about these goals like immediately. If someone is trying to lose weight, I want to talk about a meal plan. If someone is trying to boost immunity, I want to talk about your condition and figure out where we can go. I just needed to be specific. Give me a tangible goal in regards to what you guys are trying to accomplish in the short term, so that we can help everyone here, especially considering it's only 5 of y'all.
No, it's more than that. You just can't see it.
Oh, I can't see everybody. Lord have mercy. It's 25 other people I'm ignoring. I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't mean, hey, everybody. Anywho, let's go. Anybody got a question or what's your goal? What's your goal? Let's start off with, let me go. Laura.
She likes to lose weight and have more energy.
Losing weight and more energy.
I think Laura said something earlier too about Laura, feel free to chime in.
I'm gonna tell you, go ahead and make it easy for us.
Yeah, definitely. I just feel tired like all the time.
Okay.
And stressed
Okay.
and very moody.
Okay. So we agitated. All right. What do you feel as if adds to your weight?
I think the stress. So I've been going to school for a long time, and I work full time, and I try to take care of my family, and it's always just too much to try to juggle.
Okay.
And so I'm stressed a lot, and so I end up just like, I'll buy groceries. I've learned so many new recipes. I enjoy cooking, and I know how to make healthy food, but I don't always have the time. So I end up going to my old habits and just picking up either fast food or just getting something quick and easy that's not always going to be the healthiest. And I have been doing that for a long time now. So even though I enjoy eating like the papaya, I've tried the seeds. I couldn't do the seeds, but now I will force the seeds down.
Awesome.
But I do enjoy healthy food. It's just, I think it's the time, but mainly I think it's the stress. The stress really gets to me. This year I started my career as a teacher. I'm a special education teacher, and I was so excited to start this new thing because I've been working on a master's degree in special education, and I thought it was going to be a lot of fun, and I was up for the challenge, even knowing that with the pandemic and stuff that it would be challenging, but it's been beyond challenging. And it just takes over like my whole life. And so just the stress, and then just sometimes I just freeze because I feel like there's just so much to do. I can't get it all done, so that I just don't get anything done.
When I say I understand where you're coming from, I understand where you're coming from. Let me give, because there's a couple people on here that I see their issue is losing weight. When I tell y'all that this is so simple, y'all are going to be mad at yourselves. If you are eating, there's a certain pattern that our body is on. Your liver, your pancreas, the spleen, these things, some of these things are active and functioning at different times. And give me a second so I can get you what those times are. Where was that within this book?
It's like 300 pages.
Yeah. I'm gonna write out, and maybe that's what I'll do, just to make sure I get this information to everyone, because there's a lot of people that want to lose weight. I'm gonna put this information in a text message for y'all, and I'm gonna just send it so that everybody gets it at the same time. Because we have to just remember that our whole goal is to make sure that our body is functioning with ease. When we are doing things that cause, and like another thing that I like for people to really look into words. Look into words, because often the meaning and the power of whatever you're dealing with is within the word. The word disease, DISEASE. All this means is that something is going through your body with a lack of ease. So you literally have to figure out how to work with your body when we are eating foods or we are eating at times that our body is not going to process those things right. We add to the hard work our body already has to go through. So nobody should be eating before 11 a.m. Breakfast has always been a lie. When you look at the word breakfast, you should see break fast, because intermittent fasting should be a part of everybody's life. Everybody intermittent fasts naturally anyway, but you should break your fast on things that are light: milk, dairy, eggs, bread. These are all things that are way too heavy to break our fast on. And if you continuously put your body on a system or on a schedule almost to where it realizes, okay, I didn't eat for 6 hours, then boom, French fries, everything like this, this adds to the problems that we have with our cholesterol, with our blood sugar. People that when you fast, and there's some people that have such a hard time fasting because of how their eating patterns are normally like. If the first thing that you gravitate towards is carbohydrates, whenever you're hungry, what you're doing is you're causing your blood sugar to spike both too low and too high. So whenever you go on a fast and you're trying to go without eating, your blood sugar doesn't drop like everybody else's drops. It goes way down there to the point to where it becomes a concern, and it makes fasting difficult or impossible. Some people should not do it if you experience those kind of situations. So when we're eating, it's a big thing on top of what we're eating. If you're still consuming the cheese and the eggs and things like that, and again, it's never a bashful thing if you are, because I told a couple people that I spoke with, we have to understand that everybody grows at different rates and things like that. We are not here to bash you. We're here to love you enough to where you get to loving yourself. And we like dandelions out here. We're blossoming. That's our goal. And so it's okay if you are not where you want to be. Do not beat yourself up, because you beating yourself up is not going to help you. But you do need to understand what you're doing to yourself and how destructive we may be being with our diet. And let's try to keep it real simple, so I'm not speaking for an hour about losing weight. Whenever we're consuming certain foods, right, how fast it moves within our system is a thing. When you eat, after you eat, you should be pooping. If you are not expelling waste after you eat, that means whatever you're eating is fermenting within your system. And whenever that piles up, that adds to that weight, and not only that weight, but the fat that the body produces. And so if you're eating things that causes your actual the function of your intestines and everything like that to delay or to move slower, of course losing weight is going to go slower. It's going to be very difficult, because everything that you're doing is counteractive to what your body needs at the time. And so people get frustrated when they speak about losing weight because I think y'all want me to say a herb or something. Like I think people want to hear me say, girl, passion flower, you're going to drop 25 pounds, I swear. But that's not how this works. And we're not into the business of lying. That's not how herbs work. The diet is one of the best ways to tackle weight. The best ways to tackle weight.
Facts. I was once overweight. I was considered obese from the American Standard Diet or whatever you call it, but I was considered obese at once. And it's like nothing that I was doing at the time, I was ignorant. So nothing that I was doing was helping, whether I cut out red meat or I was working out every day religiously, nothing was working. It wasn't until I changed my diet and the weight started falling off on its own, without me going to the gym, without me getting on a treadmill, without me doing much of nothing, because I was sitting down a lot during that time, but the weight was just falling off. And even then I didn't know why, but it didn't take me until this year. And this was like maybe 4 years ago. It didn't take me until this year when I started experimenting on myself, because weight gain was an issue for me. I'd lose weight and then like I'd lose 10 pounds and then gain 20, then lose another whatever pounds, but then gain that times 2 or 3. But now that I know like that's what it is, and everything that I was eating that wasn't meant for my body that I was putting in, like it was not supposed to be in there, or my metabolism slowed down tremendously. So it was hard. I was making my body internally, like I was making it harder for it to fight for me, to break down everything, to digest everything. So at one point I was just sitting on maybe 20 to 30 pounds of feces in my gut. And now, in order to break that or lose weight, when we fast, that's where it all falls off at. Like literally, with the last fast we did, I started off at 165 and ended at like 150, 156. And today I checked, those 155. And a lot of people, they get scared for like, I don't want to commit to something so serious, so strict, like a water fast or a fruit fast, because once I come off that fast, the weight is going to come back. But it's the complete opposite, because even after I come off a fast, the weight comes back like pound by pound, but it's glucose and it's everything that I'm putting back into my body. But the fat itself is still dropping. So even though I'm eating now, I'm still losing weight, and the weight that I'm gaining is now glucose and everything that the body actually needs to function properly. So that weight loss is a thing. Everybody that's struggling with weight loss, I have been there for years. Like I was trying to lose weight for almost 6 years straight, and nothing that I did worked until I changed my diet. And I'm not trying to sell y'all no ticket or trying to force y'all to go vegan. It's just, that's my truth. That's what worked for me. And quite a few other people that were struggling with weight loss as well. Like no matter how many hydroxycut pills they tried, or how many times they went to the gym or went to work out, hit the treadmill, nothing was working. Because it's like you're
still, it's almost like think about it like how many calories you're supposed to lose a day in order to ensure that you are dropping some weight. The trick for a lot of people need to understand with their understand what your calorie intake is supposed to be, and then cut that in half. Cut it in half. It's literally that simple. Cut your calorie intake in half. When you aren't consuming as much, you're not going to develop as much weight, correct? So it's not stop eating. Don't fall for that fad that you need to eat to lose weight. And which is another thing that a lot of people think, oh girl, I don't need, I haven't been eating. I don't know why I'm not losing weight, because you need to eat to lose weight. Your body needs minerals and things of that nature in order to do what you want it to do. So you have to feed it on a cellular level in order for you to start losing weight. But when it comes to the dieting, when you stop putting stuff in your body that goes against what you're trying to do, watch how things work for you. And it's complicated because we have an emotional attachment to food. Food is an emotional thing. So you don't want to hear to let go of the bacon. You don't want to hear to let go of the cheese. But the cheese is causing that slow up. And especially for any of my women struggling with tummy fat or even some in the hips, that has everything to do with what you're consuming and where some of that fat actually localizes and builds up. And so what you're eating, when you're eating, matters. Fasting, as she brought up, y'all don't understand what y'all missing with these fasts. It is so, the body is so like we are the best machines alive. If you cut yourself and you bleed, you heal. Like we are some of the most amazing things on the face of this earth. Our temples are equipped with everything that it needs in order for it to function on its own. It's us messing us up. And I can say us because I still eat some stuff. Y'all, them brownies, it's specifically vegan brownies that I struggle with, that makes it difficult for me to say no. It's something about the chocolate. I don't know what it is, but it's us complicating things. When you stop putting things into your body, and some of you have already spoke to me, so you know exactly where I'm about to go with this, but just in case you haven't heard it, especially for you, Laura, when you start fasting, right? Whenever you're eating, your body has to focus on what you're putting into it, right? And so down goes the burger, and the system is like, dang, okay, we need to do a couple things in order to get rid of this, in order to take care of this, right? When you stop eating, your body takes that energy and focuses it on itself. There's a part within a water fast and a water fast alone, because a water fast is if you're putting smoothies and or even juices and things of that nature, you're still consuming fruits or vegetables or whatever you're putting into your body. But when you're doing a strictly water fast, your body gets to this point called the autophagy point. It's the autophagy stage. AUTOPHAGY. It is in this stage that I want to say the actual translation for the term is called self-eating. Your body literally starts eating away at itself. Cells that are not functioning properly, things that are waste, toxins and things like that. Your body, scar tissue, your body naturally starts to attack and get rid of. And at the same time, newer cells that are loaded with that function properly are actually introduced into the stream. This happens during a water fast. It's almost like an immune and body reset. That's our imagine a fast as being a reset button for your body. It gives you the opportunity to reset the internal condition of your body. And how powerful is that?
And it only takes 72 hours to literally restore and reset your immune system, you internally. 72 hours and you can reset yourself and start over.
And your body does this naturally. And nobody on this timeline can tell me that when they're sick, they get hungrier. The first thing to go when you get sick is your appetite. That's your body telling you to stop eating. Give me a minute to work on what we got going on, and we can pick up later. But this naturally happens. There's so much wisdom in the body. If we just let it do what it does, we'll be okay. When you get sick, the first thing that goes is your desire to eat.
The same with inflammation. If anybody is suffering from like excessive inflammation, or just something is always becoming inflamed, that's actually a good sign, because at that point, your body is going to war to fight for you. They have spotted some type of negative agents within the body that's not supposed to be there. So it inflames, it swells up in a sense to protect whatever organ that is that's inflamed. It literally, it fights for you in that moment to block out anything that's trying to attack it that shouldn't be there. That's what inflammation is. So when you're experiencing, whether it's inflammation or like she said, when you get sick and you just don't want to eat, that's things that we should start paying attention to. Like that's your body talking to you. And at that point, you don't talk back, just listen to it.
Yeah. Just do it. You don't want to eat, cool. Sometimes we go even to the extent to where we lose our sense of taste and we lose our sense of smell. Once you all get to the point to where you say, okay, I'm listening to my body, it'll become very difficult for you to understand how you continue to ignore it for so long before you make these changes. Because there's some things that some people go through. And it's like, even for me, I had a thing with, forgive me, McDonald's ice cream cones. Don't know what it was, but I loved it. And I'm acidic, lactose intolerant. And I had really, really bad acidic reflux. I was throwing up after eating a ice cream cone. And like the person I am, I kept eating them ice cream cones until I got tired of being in pain. And that's just what it was. Listening to your body, because your body is telling you everything that you need to know. It's telling you everything that you need to know in order for you to know what you need to do right with it. The consistency that you were speaking on, I want to touch on this briefly. And I am so sorry that you are experiencing what you're experiencing, because I really wish that life for all of us could be a lot easier than what it is. So many of us are actually burdened. And I've spoken to what I call rocks. A lot of the women that I've spoken to in regards to consultation, they're the rock of their family. You are the person that your family depends on. You are the person that people run to. You're the person that's going to make sure that things get taken care of. You're the reason as to why your family is as intact as it is. That's a very difficult task that we shouldn't be burdened with alone, but a lot of us are. So we have to sharpen our mind. There's this little story of this woman. She just told me about it the other day. She grabbed a bucket, a big little paint bucket, and she had 5 big rocks in there, and she filled the bucket up with all the rocks, the big rocks. And she asked her students, she was a teacher, she asked her students, she said, now how much more do you think I can put in there? And all the kids said, nothing, it's full. She then continued to put in some smaller rocks, filled that up again. And then she asked the question again, now how much more do you think I can put in there? And they said no more again. She then filled the bucket with water. And her whole point behind that was to let everyone know that we do have the time and we do have the capacity to do the things that we want to do. It's all about organizing and prioritizing our goals so that we make sure that everything can fit. And unfortunately, that's what a lot of us we have to do. We have to prioritize not just our goals and our tasks and things like that, but what we're going to put our mental energy into. Understand that your brain is your greatest weapon, as well as a huge weapon that's going to run against you, especially if you're not running it and it's running you. Scientific, neurologic, like fact. The brain is wired to keep you comfortable. That's it. You're not going to do anything that's going to make you feel uncomfortable, especially if you're not used to being uncomfortable, because your brain is literally going to keep you within that comfort zone. This is where a lot of that self-sabotaging behavior comes from, because we don't understand the anatomy within our mind. Your brain is literally trying to keep you happy. So when you know you should be eating better and you choose not to because it's easier or it's not as convenient, this is just a reflection or an example of us not having as much control of our mind as we should. And spirit and diet, to me, is the same thing. I don't separate them. They're the same thing for me. I eat because not just to fight disease and things like that, but I want to get my mind to obey my spirit and my body to obey my mind. Whenever you smell something delicious, and I used to be like this, I'm vegan for the first time. I haven't eaten anything but potatoes because at that time, that's all I knew how to cook. And they came into my job with some Chick-fil-A little chicken nuggets with the honey mustard sauce. That smell set my life on fire. I started sweating. I was looking at that chicken so hard. And it's like,
story of us.
It's like once you have to understand that your body,
The story about the mind.
Okay.
Lolita.
Yes.
Hey, Lolita.
Hi.
I'm sorry. Once you don't have control over your body runs you. And so what happens is almost as if we are like people in a spaceship. And I've said this before because this is so true. We're like people in a spaceship. And you as a driver within a spaceship, your spirit is like, go right. But the body goes left because it saw something shiny. Like, it saw something that attracted it. We have to get in control of our mind and stop creating the environment within our lives to where a lack of control within our mind is seen as okay. So I want to challenge you. And again, I know that you may not be vegan and stuff like that, and that's fine. But let's just say the next time that you want, or let me do this. For the next 3 days, what's your favorite meat?
Anybody?
I don't have a favorite meat.
Okay.
I could totally give up meat. I just don't know how to even get started.
Okay. Well, I'm going to challenge you to do it. Let's do it. Initially, this challenge for us was a more strict thing, but we wanted more people to do it. So we loosened it up a little bit because saying, hey, yeah, y'all, we not drinking nothing but water and only eating fruits can be a bit intimidating. But if you're up for it, I challenge you, do not consume any meat, dairy, or anything of that nature while you are on this challenge, at least for the first 3 days, and make it a mental thing. There's some information at the bottom of the pack that I put into there that helped me with consistency because I'm young and I'm not done growing. And I like literally from owning 2 businesses of my own, being dedicated to my studies, as well as in school for my master's. I just graduated with my bachelor's earlier this year. It's been a lot going on. Consistency has definitely been an issue of mine. Having a morning routine, setting goals for yourself, not just something that you said that you were going to do, but write it out if you need to. Write it down and make sure that this goal is something that you can see on a day-to-day basis. In regards to meals for you to help you with transitioning, I'm a Southern person, so I like a lot of Southern foods. Again, breakfast is a no-go, but if you are going to eat breakfast at 11 a.m., it needs to be fruit and not heavy fruit. Do not eat any melons, watermelon, or anything like that that early. And guys, also understand how you need to be eating certain foods. There are certain categories of fruits that should not be eaten with each other because they cause digestion.
So you're answering somebody's question on the food combinations.
Oh, can you also speak on food combinations? I just learned that there are some things that we should not. Yes. Okay, so you have your citric fruits, you have your subcitrus fruits, you have your melons. Okay, the thing about it is, again, it's always understanding what is the body processing sooner or faster, and or taking it a bit longer. So what happens is if you consume strawberries, which go throughout the system pretty fast, like 30 minutes, right? In comparison, and you eat that with a melon, let's just say you added some cantaloupe to your little your fruit blend, that melon is going to take longer, and it takes more work for the body to digest. And so what happens is if you have these strawberries that are digesting fast and these melons that are literally fermenting in your body, causing indigestion, gas, bloating, and things like that, because the body is literally breaking them down at 2 different rates, sometimes not even at all, depending on what you're eating. So, and let me do that, write that down so I don't forget.
Write what down?
So I can text them because so many are trying to lose weight. Let me see. So I can text you guys a picture of the food chart that I follow, so that you guys know exactly what fruits you can be eating at around the same time. And in regards to that meal plan for you, just so you leave something with here that you can do tonight. Fruits in the morning, strawberries, blueberries, bananas, apples, things like that in the morning, 11 a.m., no sooner than 11 a.m. Throughout your day, if you need a snack, I personally like the little bars and stuff like that, like different nuts and things of that nature. And when you're snacking on these things, be mindful again of what you're snacking on. Nuts should not be eaten with fruits. A lot of people like to eat their fruits with nuts. You should not be eating your nuts with fruits. Seeds are okay, but when it comes to the actual nuts, no. So make sure you're steering clear of that. Even when you're snacking, be sure that you're mindful of the duration and the time that you snacked. And that even extends to drinking. You should not be drinking anything while you're eating. When you are drinking anything while you are eating, that can also cause not only just the weight, but gas and all of that stuff too, because you have to understand that when you're creating this soupy substance within the body, it has to get through all of that just to break down all of that nutrients. And so if you have something whole and you're mixing that with a liquid, the body is going to deal with that in 2 different ways. You see how sometimes like it's so easy to get out of nature and out of tune with ourselves, because the way that we were taught is just honestly all out of whack. I still accidentally drink water while I'm eating, not because it's like I'm just thirsty and I have to have it, but I'm so used to drinking and eating at the same time, not understanding that this is where the gas is coming from.
Yeah.
Sometimes I can get bloated to the point to where it causes pain, especially on a vegan diet. The vegan diet does produce a lot more gas. So how you eat on a vegan diet matters.
At least give it 30 minutes before drinking water or whatever it is you drink when you're eating your meals.
For lunch, salads. I love me a good salad.
Or a good chickpea tuna sandwich, or
Go
some
ahead.
chickpea tuna with some crackers. When I tell you, I just got hip to the chickpea tuna with the crackers like 3 days ago. But a chickpea tuna sandwich for lunch.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
I've tried the chickpeas. The chickpeas give me gas so bad.
It's a
Okay.
bean.
Any recommendation with that? I mean, because I like them, but it just really gasses me real bad.
We just have to start putting things into the diet that would help us actually pass that gas or kind of minimize that gas. Ginger is really good for that. Ginger is going to help with anything in regards to flatulence. And there are well, like from a herbal standpoint, there are some herbs that can help with flatulence, but a lot of it has to do with how our body is digesting things. And so when it comes to herbs, not herbs, garbanzo beans, sometimes we cause that extra gas within our body by the time because of when we ate, what we ate with, and how much we consume. If you're eating just like, and it's kind of hard because what I would advise for someone that's trying to heal, and then what I would advise for someone that's just on a regular vegan diet would be two different things. If we're going to be as strict as we can be for healing, you should not be consuming your beans with a bread. If you ate it with bread, that can be one of the main causes for that excess gas. Again, because the body is digesting these things at two completely different rates. And so, if you want to help in regard to that, one of the things is going to be really just tackling where most of that indigestion, not the indigestion, but the gas and the bloating is coming from. Is it actually coming from the bean? Is the bean within itself not just responding well with you? And, or is it something else that you could be doing to add to that gas? I can be a gassy person. So
Mm.
sometimes beans don't make it no worse. I just have flatulence all on my own.
Somebody
Hold, hold,
asked.
hold, hold. Dinner. I'm sorry. I want to leave you with dinner. So for dinner, I like to eat fried mushrooms or like sauteed mushrooms. One of my favorite meals is a monk bowl, and that includes normally like a bean with some quinoa and like some grilled veggies, maybe some fried little mushrooms that I like to little substitute as my little chickens. And so if you need any help with cooking that the right way or making anything, just reach out to us and we'll give you even more. Even if you need like more ideas for recipes and stuff like that, we have a cookbook that is loaded with all different kinds of recipes, and we've tried a lot of different stuff, everything from Asiatic meals to enchiladas, vegan enchiladas, and how to make those things a bit more plant-based so you're not using all those meat alternatives and things. So just hit us up. If you need some help, just say something.
Um, okay, should you soak the nuts? If you're talking about like making milk, then yes, depending on, especially if you like say you're using Brazil nuts, they definitely need to be soaked. We have a almond cow milk maker that kind of does all the hard work. But before that almond cow milk maker, I was making milks with just a blender, and I would soak either my cashews or my walnuts the night before, and then use them as soaked and make the actual milk with. What we normally eat, because I saw somebody ask, what do we eat? We ain't missing no meals. Like some breakfast, we'll have like a acai bowl with like strawberries, bananas. What else is on the bowls? Strawberries,
Blueberries.
bananas,
It's
blueberries.
very simple, but it's still good.
Yeah, quinoa grits. Like she said, we're Southern, so grits. Like I don't know if that's a Southern thing, but I've only heard from Southern people like grits. But I've perfected making grits with quinoa, chicken and waffles. The chicken is normally fried mushroom. It
I made the
looks and
waffles
tastes just like chicken.
from Spelt.
So we eating chicken and waffles sometimes for breakfast. The bulk of the times we eat fruit though. Somebody asked about can you drink a smoothie at 11 a.m.? Yes, you can. That's another thing we eat for breakfast. If
Smoothies.
if we're probably busy most of the time, so a smoothie is the go-to. For lunch is typically like if not leftovers, then sandwich like the chickpea tuna sandwich. What else do we eat for lunch? If we even eat lunch.
Yeah, there are times to where, to be completely honest with you, whether it be because we're busy and or we're literally experimenting with ourselves, practicing a different kind of fast or something like that. Sometimes we only eat once a day. and we're absolutely fine, energized throughout our day, have enough, you know, you want to make sure that that one meal has the nutrients and things like that that you need. But sometimes we only eat one time a day.
But dinner, it goes down. We
Damn.
don't miss no meals for dinner. So dinner, we eat everything from some Alfredo pasta to spaghetti to enchiladas to whatever we do with the mushrooms, because mushrooms is like our main source of meat. So any and everything you can think of with that you would use meat. Like last night we had fully loaded baked potatoes with the mushroom being like barbecue. So it was a barbecue fully loaded baked potato.
You can make your own cream cheese from scratch, from sour cream. When it came to, what else you just named? Because I wanted to make sure they knew. Oh, the pastas. Y'all know they got chickpea noodles.
Silly.
They got chickpea noodles. The starch within some of that stuff is what gets a lot of people. So gravitating towards healthier alternatives, even for the starch, you know, where the starch may be vegan, is important. Chickpea noodles, y'all. Chickpea, and they got some lentils.
Nachos, you can pretty much do anything you want to nachos. You can use, like if you were like pulled pork, for example, I would use king oyster mushrooms, take the mushroom and shred it down to make it look like actual pulled pork, season it, because the mushrooms literally retain whatever you season it with. So you can get the mushrooms to taste like whatever you want it to taste like, whether it's steak, chicken, barbecue, you name it.
Let me go get
But the nachos, like I swear, try some nachos with, we got some nachos in the first cookbook, but I'm a big nacho fanatic. So I'm thinking about like, I don't know, I think I want to do like, not a nacho course because that's lame, but I think I'm gonna share with y'all, like I'm gonna start posting like little videos on IG with like different ways to make nachos, because like you can never go wrong with that. And it's so easy. Like if you just got off of work and you're hungry and you want like a quick meal, 30 minutes and you have a whole thing of nachos. What else? Like dinner, we be eating, like we don't miss no meals. I'm trying to think of like some of
BLT sandwiches with eggplant. I like that.
Some of our favorites, because a lot of people, they say I'm gonna miss this if I go vegan, but really and truly you can't miss nothing. They even went as far as there's a such thing as vegan chitlins, y'all. We ain't never tried it, but there are vegan chitlins. And I think they use like some tofu or something, and we steer away from tofu. If you are gonna go the tofu route, or you consider like eating any of like say the processed vegan foods that you find in the freezer section at the store, just try to limit your soy intake in moderation. Not saying like completely get rid of soy if you have to take your time getting there if you're transitioning, but just be mindful of how much soy you're intaking, because too much soy can cause cancer. To like way too much, take a lot. But
I have a question. What about those bacon, banana bacon pills? Have you ever tried that before?
banana bacon pill?
Well, they make bacon, but they use the banana peel.
Never heard of it. Never tried it.
I know. Yeah, I just heard about that.
We've tried
That Tabitha, you know that Tabitha Brown, she does it. So that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, Tabitha be experimenting with all types of stuff. Shout out to Tabitha.
Yes.
Yeah, she does.
If most of y'all found us
through
because of her, shout out to her. But
Yeah.
we've made bacon using eggplant. You can make bacon using those king oyster mushroom. Those king oyster mushrooms are so versatile. You can do a lot with them. Thing is, it's kind of hard to find them in the store. We actually order our king oyster mushrooms by the bulk, like 5 pounds or 6 pounds online, and get it shipped to us. Takes about 2 days. But those king oyster mushrooms, you can do a lot with.
And y'all have to understand that you can make whatever you want to make on a vegan diet. Like I am eating the same things that I've been eating all my life, minus the turkey necks. So
silly.
That that could definitely, y'all can do this. It's just a matter of figuring out what you like, figuring out what you need to substitute, and then substituting. That's it.
Omelets for breakfast too.
Chickpeas.
Just egg if somebody is like interested in, or trying to go that route, but they're trying to figure out which egg substitute they want to try. Just egg is a great substitute. It's made.
That's amazing. Just egg is amazing.
Yeah. The bacon that is mung beans, you can actually make it at home yourself.
By yourself with the mung beans.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
What about, somebody did ask a question. What about coffee?
No, stop the coffee.
Ah,
No,
Dark roasted
dandelion
dandelion.
tea.
Oh,
Let me.
okay.
I was just talking to my mama about this because my mom is
Mhm.
still on coffee even after
I'm
being
a coffee girl.
serious hyperthyroidism and experiencing heart palpitations to the point to where her heart could burst. Coffee has an acid within it that is going like it's not good. It is not good. Just simple. It's not good. It may act as a laxative for a lot. It kept me regular, but there are so many other things that you can utilize to keep yourself regular. On top of that, you don't want to utilize anything that gives you those fake rushes, and that's one of the things that coffee does. It gives you that fake, that really strong caffeine and boost, and it brings you all the way down. That enhancing utilizing caffeine within itself, especially for women, anybody that's on here that consumes coffee on a regular basis, I'm curious to as to if you've had any vaginal issues associated with the coffee that you're consuming and you just don't know. Coffee has so much acid within it that it has the potential to alter your pH. How many of us knew that?
I didn't know that.
We had leave the coffee alone. Like it is not necessary. It does not add any benefit or anything like that of that nature to your life. Let it go. Come up with something else and be the first. They have different, like if you're not my mom does not like the dark roasted dandelion tea, come up with something else. They have something else called what did they call that? Mud water, basically, to where they made a tea replacements out of alkaline chocolates like cacao nibs and things like that. And that some people like that. But there's come up with something different. Leave that coffee alone. Leave that in 2020. Whenever you had your last cup, let that be your last cup. I wanted to show you guys some seasonings that y'all could use, because you have to watch how you season your food too, especially if we're talking about losing weight and actually making sure that we're preserving as much nutritional content within our food as we can. There's a lot of stuff that has sugar in it that we just don't know has sugar in it. So finding seasonings that don't have all the extra stuff, the extra chemicals within them, the extra salt and extra sugar within them, is something that we've been working on. There's this brand called Flavor Gods. Can y'all see that? We got a whole kitchen full of every seasoning that they have. Not only did we just want to show our support.
We love it.
Yeah.
We love it.
Yes. Flavor God is really good. You know, if I have to be completely honest, it's not a Tony's. Okay, any of my people know what Tony's. I can't be the only one on Tony Satcheries. It's not a Tony's, but you know how to mix them and stuff like that. It's really good, and they have ingredients in here that you can trust. No chemicals or anything like that. Like this Himalayan pink salt and pink peppercorns. It's as far as it goes. So knowing how to season your food. There's a group that I used to like called Dead Prez. And I was listening to them when I was like 17 or so. And they were the first one to say, watch how you season your food. And that's kind of how I caught on to it. But finding ways to season your food to your, to where you could bear it, you like it, but it's also still healthy is important. Flavor Guides, y'all. Flavor Guides. I saw some questions up there that we had missed, and I want to make sure that this is as productive as possible without being on here till tomorrow with everybody.
Well, we're gonna be online again tomorrow too, though.
Okay, cool. So maybe if something isn't tackled, we can leave it for the next day. It was before food combinations.
Should we work out during the detox? Did we answer that?
No. While you are detoxing, chill out. You are taking your body through such a and I'm speaking on this from the standpoint that most of us don't our immune system is not where it should be. Our body isn't where it should be. And so when your body is already going through this tough experience, to where some of you may actually have some tough symptoms, to where you're sweating, the headaches, the body aches. Whenever you are fasting and you're experiencing bodily aches, that's where the mucus is actually localized. So some of you can be actually laying down while you're fasting and you got knee pain. What's wrong with your knees? You're laying down, you're not doing nothing. Whenever you're fasting and the mucus is being pulled from within your body, let's just say you had a lot of mucus centralized in your knee. When that mucus starts to move, those bones get to doing what they would normally do without the mucus being present. And that's what actually causes the aching and the pain. And so there may be some symptoms that you guys are going to be going through naturally through this fast and, while you're detoxing, and that's okay. But you need to chill, relax, meditate. And that's the next point that I want to talk about. Meditate. There's a lot of us, our minds are running us just mad, because even when you don't have anything going on, you're thinking about something going on. And we don't understand how powerful the mind is. While you were laying down in bed and you are having thoughts about something negative, your heart starts to race. You may start to sweat. You get emotional. You may want to cry. You could start palpitating, breathing really hard. Why? If you're sitting still and you're not doing anything to cause your body to physically respond in the way that it is. Your brain is powerful. The scientific breakdown of that is that whenever you were thinking about certain things, let's just say you think about something that produces stress, the brain then sends those stress signals down to the rest of the body. Thus the reason as to why the body responds in the way that it does. You have to guard your mind, and learning how to meditate effectively is going to help you do so. I'm a lucid dreamer, if anybody knows what that is. The quality of sleep that I've gotten since a teen has been so poor, to the fact that I was diagnosed with insomnia as a teen. And it's something that I dealt with all the way throughout my adulthood. Learning how to silence my mind. If for those of you that don't know what lucid dreaming is, I'm asleep enough to dream, but I'm also awake enough to know that I'm dreaming, and I'm conscious of me dreaming. So while I'm dreaming, I'm actually thinking. I am meditating on things that go on throughout my day. And sometimes I notice my mind goes into loops to where I am thinking about the same thing over and over and over again. And when I first tried to stop my mind from going into the negative cycles and patterns that it was going into, because a lot of us do that. You can be having an absolutely fine day and you thought about something that your husband did 3 days and it just pissed you off all over again. Now you mad. Something that somebody did 5 years ago, now you upset. Somebody cut you off on the freeway. You got through it, got home. You thought about them cutting you off and the audacity that they had, and you mad all over again. These are negative thought patterns and cycles that develops within our mind that keeps us within this state. And this is so sad because a lot of us have experienced so much trauma that these low and negative states have become norms. Hence the reason why your body is trying to even keep you within them. You are so used to being sad. You're so used to being tired. You're so used to being angry that even when you're not angry or you don't have a reason to be any of these things, you are. Your brain we're creating these conditions and these environments for our body to be comfortable. And by comfortable, I don't mean you like it here. I mean that you're used to being here. This has been a norm for you. You think like this on a daily basis. Quieting your mind is the greatest part of gaining your control. Being present is a great aspect of being in control. When you think about it, and I literally had to think about this for myself, when the brain isn't necessary, the body acts on its own. You don't have to think to drive, you just drive. And while you're driving, because you don't have to think about driving, your mind slips because it's something that your body knows how to do without you necessarily having to focus on doing it. How often or how many of us are actually going through life just like that, almost like second seat passengers in our own car? So where we are not focused on the present, we are not even here enough to even acknowledge the beauty going on, the things that you're not smelling the roses or nothing like that, because you're stuck somewhere else. If your mind has a constant tendency to slip, you could be thinking, okay, I need to stop this. I don't need to do this. Okay, cool. My mind is cool. Girl, yeah, he shouldn't have said that. And when he said that, it made me feel, if your mind continuously does that, meditate. And you meditate until you get it right. A few of my meditation techniques that help me to quiet my mind is I close my eyes and I look into the darkness behind my lids. When I am listening to music, meditational music, I am literally holding on to the sound of whatever is playing. I burn sage, not because everybody says it clears out demons, because I think it's a couple times where if it's supposed to get out the bad energy, I should have left. But it also keeps me here. It forces me to stay here, because the now is what I need to be appreciative of. The now. If we all focus on the now, we'd be so much happier, because the now isn't as bad as what we're focusing on. The now had nothing to do with what your husband said 5 hours ago, what your mama did, what your brother shouldn't have said, and all of that stuff. The now, being grateful for the now. And speaking of gratitude, gratitude is how you silence your mind. I know a lot of y'all praise God on here. I know a lot of you know how to praise God on here. So when you meditate, the first way that I get myself to calm down is I get into an instant mood of gratitude. God, I am so thankful for today. I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for this opportunity to do whatever it is that I'm doing. And then I use that gratitude, that once I feel grateful for everything that I am genuinely saying that I am thankful for, I then move into silence. It's kind of hard to be quiet when you got too much noise going on. Focus on one thing that would turn your being from desperate, upset, sad, mad, into grateful and happy. And then you hold on to that happiness. The emotions and the thoughts that you hear while you meditate, because that's a lot of people's problem too. You don't know how to turn off your mind. It's not necessarily a matter of turning off your mind until you're able to actually control those thoughts. When you are thinking those things, instead of focusing on what you're thinking of, just let it pass. You don't have to have an emotional reaction to everything that comes across your mind. Some things are literally just thoughts. And once you start getting onto the fact that your brain is your enemy at that point, you're going to start addressing yourself as you should be. There are some times to where I feel insecure for no reason. Nobody did nothing. Nobody said nothing. I'm accomplished for it in regards to what I feel as if it's success, but I am still insecure. There are times to where something that my stepfather said to me years ago that made me feel so low in regards to the direction that I wanted to go in my life, it randomly comes across my mind. What I've learned that helps me is that I am not, Ashley, don't feel for that. Simply don't feel for that. I know you want to go off on a negative tangent. I know you want to cry, you want to reflect on, how much you're hurt, and you want to manifest and you want to meditate on that hurt. I know you do. Don't.
I didn't want to cut you off.
Oh no, you never just interject, because I can go. Just say something.
Yeah. Papaya seeds, how long do they last in the fridge? 5 to 7 days, or until you start to see mold. If you dry out your papaya seeds, because you can actually dry them and store them like in a pantry, that can last for up to 3 years. I don't think nobody's just going to have papaya seeds sitting around for 3 years, but the longer it sits, the more it loses its potency. But if it's not dried and you just have it in the fridge, definitely 5 to 7 days, or until you see any type of slight discoloration or it just don't look right. Just kind of pay attention to it. Yes, you can make chickpea tofu. There's a place in Dallas that actually sells chickpea tofu. And so that is a thing as well. I saw someone say, what about the high carb content in the pasta? With the pasta, you can use zucchini noodles, chickpea noodles, lentil noodles. I made some lasagna like last month, and it was with it was lentil lasagna noodles, and it was so good. But there's always a substitute for something if it's carbs that you're trying to watch out for.
Yeah, somebody is right. Bonza noodles are chickpea.
Mm-hmm.
Flour. What kind of flour can we use? Use spelt flour and garbanzo bean flour. Get rid of every other kind of flour you got. Spelt flour and garbanzo bean flour. In regards to the oils, you should be cooking with grapeseed oil. If you're cooking with any other kind
avocado.
Or avocado. If you're cooking with any other kind of oil, cut it out.
Or sesame.
These oils, a lot of the oils that people use are very low heat. Even if you think that you're doing the right thing by using coconut oil is not a high heat oil. So when you actually start to cooking with this oil, those compounds burn and they become something toxic for the body. So grapeseed oil, avocado oil, sesame seed oil, if you're feeling like a little Chinatown.
Megan, yes, some of the recipes we did mention out are in our first cookbook, and we're also working on some more. So we'll keep it coming with the recipes, and we'll also have classes. We're going to start offering classes where we're showing you how to cook these things or teaching you how to maintain a plant-based lifestyle, and a whole lot of good stuff we're getting ready to roll out. But some of those recipes that I did name earlier are in the first cookbook that's on the website.
The person that asked about cactus. What about cactus?
I don't. How do we feel about cactus? I like the little prickly things, and sometimes I play with it and I poke it like oop, oop. And I always say, if I'm ever in the desert and I gotta survive, I'm gonna try to cut open in that cactus because I need all the cacti to get the water. But like, we don't cook or use it or anything like that. But I like cactus. I like them little prickly little things. It's just a little. Sorry about that, y'all. Let's see.
A herb that you should know about, especially because I saw I don't know if I saw it here, if somebody told me they're struggling with diabetes and things like that while we're speaking of cactus. Nopal. 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 If you're having any issues in regards to your diabetes, blood sugar, and things like that.
And that's actually alkaline. That's actually on Dr. Sadie's list. Somebody said something about cholesterol and blood pressure.
Nopal.
That too, as well as if whoever asked about that, if you have a pen or something, I was actually going to list some herbs that actually help with high cholesterol and blood pressure. And I'll type them in the chat too, but it's basil, parsley, celery seeds, garlic, thyme, cinnamon, ginger,
Go ahead.
cardamom,
Add wariki.
Chinese cat's claw. Chinese cat's claw. Make sure it's Chinese, not the regular cat's claw, but the Chinese. And forgive me for going like that, because it ain't really a cat's claw, but Chinese cat's claw.
That's also good for pain.
And those help with both the high blood pressure and cholesterol. And the good thing about that is if you already use them or you cook with them, good, like keep doing that. But that's the good thing about it, because you can make them, you can, make teas with those herbs and drink them throughout the day. Or you can also just add them to your meals and make sure you're consuming it. So you can get it, consume it in a multitude of ways, drink it, eat it, whatever the case is. But those herbs, and I'm gonna type it, like I said, I'm gonna type it in the chat too, just in case you missed it.
Somebody said something about hormones, and for women, hormonal imbalance. For women, that's super important. I want to give you guys some herbs that y'all can take away from that actually helps with that. That's maca, red raspberry leaf, chase tree, also called Vitex, is really good for regulating the hormones. Sometimes, especially depending on the reason for your hormonal imbalance, you want to go towards herbs that are like adaptogens, meaning that these herbs will go into the body and help regulate it. If you have too much testosterone or estrogen and things like that, it'll regulate, balance these levels out, balance your levels out. And it's one of my favorite herbs to go to because it kind of does the work for me. A lot of these herbs, you need to know exactly what your problem is to appropriately, address it. But with chase tree, like I said, also called Vitex, these are some of the adaptogenic herbs that go in there and they regulate it for you. Black cohosh, milk thistle, oat straw, donkai, DONQUAI, danshin, DANSSHEN is also really good as well. What else? Fenugreek seeds, dandelion root. Dandelion root is good, as well as the greens. Ginger, as she said, white peony, red clover, sage, ashwagandha, sea moss, of course, white willow, cat's claw, like she said.
Is it Chinese or the other one?
No, it's Chinese. Devil's claw. Devil's claw root is something, again, that I use for pain. One of my pain remedies is turmeric with black pepper. Just in case you didn't know, you need black pepper in order to activate the curcumin. The curcumin that's actually within turmeric. If you're taking turmeric without black pepper, you're just drinking turmeric.
I have a question about that. I'm sorry. You said for pain, you could take turmeric and black pepper.
Turmeric, black pepper, use white willow.
White willow, okay.
White willow, I think I already told you devil's claw, cat claw, turmeric, pepper, and white willow. Oh, and cayenne. I use African bird pepper at once. But the African bird pepper, especially for people who have really bad acidic reflux, can be a lot. So just cayenne pepper in there, just a little
Okay.
bit. And if you get that in a powder mix it all together in equal parts. And you don't need as much black pepper. You just need a little bit of black pepper in order to get some of that curcumin. But put it in a capsule, take it with food so that we make sure it gets to the right part of the tummy and digests in the right part of our body, so that we can actually receive those benefits from it. But it's test, tried, and proven for me. I've used it for a while now. It works. I once had this part of my face was swole. I had what's that called? Like the infection in the tooth.
Bacterial infection?
No.
Abscess.
Abscess.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much. I had that, and at the time I could not afford to take care of myself. And so I was on a lot of Advil, anything that could take away pain, until consuming that started to hurt. It started to feel like I had a rock in my stomach from all the medication that I was trying to give myself to take away that pain. And so I came up with this natural remedy, and it's been working for me ever since then. The only time to where it did not work, I feel as if my body got so used to it, because it was around the same time I was using it a lot, that it was almost like it took too much for me to combat the same pain that I was once able to deal with. So I took myself off of it for a little bit, got back on it, and it was fine. I also use this on friends and family, and it's helped with menstrual pain as well as arthritis pain and things like that. White willow is really, really good for pain. It's very strong.
2 Bladderwrack capsules in the morning and 2 in the evening. For Sonia asked the question. But does anybody have any?
I'm sorry, I just saw Laura's. Nopal means cactus in Spanish. Then girl, we use cactus. Some of these herbs.
There's a really good cactus salad. I'm gonna make it and take a picture and send it to you guys.
Yes. There's some of these things, it's like once I learn them in the language, I stick with that language. And so I know it by that language. But that is so awesome. Didn't know.
But if anybody else has any questions, because we got to get ready to wrap it up, but we will see you all again tomorrow for day 2. Ask away.
We wanted to make this as personal as possible. So the first challenge tomorrow, especially considering that a lot of our issues stem from our mentality, I wanted to make it to where you guys could share your aspect of your mental transformative challenge. I really want to see, when I ask you guys, your best self, not the Laura that you think you are, but the Laura, the Portia, the people that we want to be. What does she look like? What does she do? How would that version of Laura deal with the situations that you are dealing with right now? Defining who this person is going to be a vital part in guiding us into where we're going to go and what we need to be doing to get there. So y'all share it with us, especially when you get to the part to where, I think, the day one is I broke it down on the little square at the bottom. I want to do, I want to accomplish, I want to be. Write it out, take a picture, and we're gonna hold y'all to it, because I want to make sure that you guys are actually taking steps, not towards just a healthier version of you, but the version of you that you want to be. Because that's honestly, I feel like if y'all all knew that you're operating at the best version of yourself, and the best version of yourself can enhance and change to become an even better version of yourself, it's going to encourage you to continue to do better for yourself. So.
And I want the same, Laura. I want to be present, because I'm really never am. As just being honest, I really never am, but I'm working on that. So that's what we're doing this for, to see and, show you all that you're not alone. Like right now, everybody in here, me, y'all family, like we're all in here together working for the same thing to enhance our life, our health, mind, body, and so everything. So I love y'all.
I just one more question. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Anxiety. What's a good herb for anxiety?
Santa Maria.
What? Santa Maria?
Santa, SantaMaria.
Oh, okay. Santa Maria.
Santa Maria is great
Wow.
for relaxation, great for relaxation, as
Okay.
well as linden. The thing with some of these herbs though, like there are some herbs that are so powerful in regards to their relaxation abilities that people that are dealing with mental, not even mental issues, but if you're depressed, if you know that you have a tendency to be really negative and harsh on yourself, it's best for you to stay away from. But I've never experienced and or researched anybody having any bad adverse effects with Santa Maria. Santa Maria is really good. Also, Blue Lotus.
Yeah.
Blue Lotus. Blue Lotus is Santa Maria. So you saying, so I'm hoping I can find this stuff. I'm like,
You can. I'm not going to tell you no
okay.
that, especially within this conversation, because I know everyone is looking to help themselves right now. So I'm not going to tell you no
Okay.
herb that you can't find here. There's this place. Hold on, let me get the site really quick.
And Latoya, yeah, this whole Zoom meeting was being recorded because there's quite a few people that, they're not able to make it to these meetings to hear, the information we're giving. The thing is, we went way, 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 way over time.
As
So
always.
it may, it may be like a large of a file or something, but I'll figure that out. The plan was, it is recording. So the plan was to send this out to everyone that's a part of it. So that is the plan. So hopefully you all get it.
Lauren,
So,
herb. Oh, go ahead.
oh no, I was just the question that she has, the Santa Maria. Is that a capsule or is that something you drink?
It's a
Is that-
tea. It comes in a very woody like. You know what? Next time I'll bring some herbs up here so y'all can actually see it. So you know what you need to be looking for whenever you purchase it. But it's a very woody kind of herb. Mine is chopped almost into like thin slices of wood bark, like the actual bark of it. And you don't need much. Like if you want to make a teaspoon, put a teaspoon or two into a little tea bag. Remember that when you're making teas and stuff like that for yourself, different kinds of herbs need different kinds of processes for the contents of that to actually be expelled throughout the herb. When you're dealing with roots and barks and things like that, the nutrients within these things may be too hard to get out with just regular hot water. So the trick is to sit your herbs, sit your woody herbs into a pot of cool water that you're eventually going to boil. Allow that herb to sit in that cool water for about 15 to 30 minutes, and then put the heat on high. Bring the water up to a boil, and as soon as it boils, turn it down and allow it to simmer for about 10 minutes, and then let it cool, and you'll be good. Lauren asks, where do I get some of my herbs? iHerb is one of the places that I use. And that one is simple. It's just iHerb.com.
IHERB.
Let me see. There's another one, but I don't remember if it's, I never remember it off the top. If it's indigo, if it's indigo herb.
I think it is something like that. Let me look.
Indigo herb.
So you said Santa Maria, and what was the other one you said was good for anxiety?
Blue Lotus.
Blue Lotus. Thank you.
Oh, see, it's indigo-herbs.co.uk. Have you ever got from Gaia Herbs?
Yes, I have, but some of their stuff is overpriced.
I had a friend tell me that if I quit drinking coffee, that my anxiety would go away.
Yep.
Absolutely. Think about what we just talked about, that caffeine. You're enhancing the body's energy in a way that's not natural, in essence. And that caffeine, if it's not necessarily broken down within our body, it causes those jitters and things like that because we're having a hard time dealing with it. So the caffeine definitely helps. And then there's one more place. There's this shop on Etsy. They always got some of the herbs that I like to use are not local. And so having herbalists that may have access to different kind of herbs like the Palo Guaco and things like that, that's actually in the tea that you all have and that I list on there. I haven't been able to find that with any of my regular consumers, or not my regular consumers, my regular vendors, because it's not an American herb. And so utilizing or knowing different herbalists in different areas, such as Mexico, some even in Africa, and things like that is important. go ahead and start out that little network. And I can send, if anybody has any other difficulty finding any other herb, I don't know her page name because she's on Etsy, but I can get that information to you just so y'all know where to find your stuff.
And put it in here tomorrow.
Cool beans.
But yeah, if nobody else has any questions, we're gonna have to wrap it up. We've been talking for an hour and a half.
Oh, really? It's been that long?
Yeah, that's
I'm
why it's
sorry.
gonna be a long video.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. It'll probably be around the same time. We tried to make it to where it's, if people work, they've got at least time to get off or go home and things like that. So that's why it's like in the evening, at least for you guys that's probably on the East Coast or down south or wherever you may be, because we're definitely over here in the mountains. But you will get another link to join us.
I have a question.
Tomorrow. What's that?
We talked about my brother's kidney problem.
Yes.
And connecting you to him. Should I have him call that number that you text us from?
Yes, and have them email us. Ashley, ASHLEY
ASHLEY.
at beasmartvegan.com.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
No, that's not a problem at all. If there's anything that y'all think of that y'all could need help with, like I said, even coming up with meal plans and things like that, we will sit here with you and work it out, figure out what you like to eat and stuff like that, and just help you with it. So just say something, reach out, talk to us. Please get us engaged. I know sometimes even with the morning routine, I know y'all saw that one of the last things is making your bed. You'd be surprised at how many adults have a hard time with making their bed and how effective something that small can be on your self-esteem, because at least you started your morning off doing something right and you accomplished something that day. And at that moment, you're going to add to those accomplishments. So participate as much as you can. I can't wait to talk to y'all tomorrow.
And
see how
yeah,
the smoothie did y'all.
If you have, we're going to send that video of at least how to prep and soak and clean your sea moss to you once we get off of here. So you'll have that tonight. So if you guys haven't prepped or prepared your sea moss, do that tonight so that you can be able to use it tomorrow to make the gel and all of that stuff. And those of you who already have gel, you already done this before. Yeah, just get on your smoothies in the morning, make sure you add the sea moss, and we'll pick up where we left off at tomorrow.
Thank you.
All right, guys, have a good
You
one.
girls are amazing. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank
That was
y'all so
wonderful.
much. Have a good night.
Y'all too. Happy New Year again.
Happy New
Thank you,
Year.
guys.
Happy New Year.
Oh, they're beautiful. They're
Yeah.
all beautiful.